All right. Welcome.
The TV's on.
The TV's on. How many fucking producers do we need, dude? All right, this is one of the episodes.
This is one of the episodes. You can number it however
Chris
you want.
and Kyle explore the universe. We have our friend, big day today. Our friend Mike Sterk is here in our very big studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Off the top, who do I make eye contact? Who gets primary eye contact?
What makes me the most nervous?
Because if I have to share it throughout this episode, I'm going to get lost in trying to keep that responsibility.
You can look at whatever you want. You can look at the tree. That it's a real tree. You can look at the back, the stockings that we made. You can look at him because he will save you.
Is that Jesus?
Yes.
Which Jesus is name in Iran?
Jihad.
Thanks for having me.
We're off to a good start.
This is the Christmas episode, right?
Yeah.
This is our holiday episode because we are everything. We are
Christian,
Jewish,
Catholic,
Muslim, Buddhist. We are all inclusive podcast.
That's the only thing we are.
We're nutcrackers.
Again. Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be here. What is the title of the show?
Chris and Kyle explore the universe.
So do you want to start with aliens? Where do you want to start?
We would like your perspective on
Yeah.
aliens.
Believe in them. I think they're walking this earth.
Dude, you're serious?
Yeah.
I'll entertain flat Earth theories right now. I'll take anything.
You take them.
Yeah, I'll take them. I'll take any theory.
You're
right
like the
now.
Kyrie of
I believe in
podcasting.
everything. I believe in when people deny stuff. They're like, "There's no God." I'm like, "There is a God. There is a Satan. There is good. There's evil. There's aliens. There's fucking Santa. There's everything, man."
Santa. What grade did you stop believing in him?
So this is sad. It was.
Yeah, or you found out. Like when you found out. And tell us how you found out.
I found out in first grade.
That's too early.
Yeah, it was too
No
early.
way.
It was too early.
That's too early.
I found a video game under my mom's bed that my brother got for Christmas from Santa.
Like pre-Christmas?
Yeah, Sega
Okay.
Genesis handheld video game. It was like, MLB based. Some
NBA Jam.
Yeah, some stupid game. And then I saw it under her bed. I was like, "Oh my God, like why does mom have NBA Jam? Like that's so sick. Like does she know NBA Jam's
My
under
mom
her bed?"
fucking rules.
Right. Like, this is like the coolest thing I've ever found.
Oh, at 6
You
years
started
old.
to think you had stuff in
And then I
common with your
went back
mom.
to look for it like the next day. I couldn't find it. And then a week later, it was wrapped underneath our tree. And my brother opened it. He was like, "NBA, I wanted this so bad." And I was like, I know where that came from. I wanted to tell my brother afterwards, like, "Hey, Santa didn't give that
You
to
kept the secret?
I kept the secret.
Younger or older brother?
Older brother.
Okay.
I have two older brothers. And now, fast forward the next year, second grade, I'm making my first Holy Communion for the Catholic Church. And you have to go through reconciliation is the first sacrament before you make your first Holy Communion. So you have to confess a sin. And the sin that I confessed was looking under my mom's bed to find out that Santa wasn't real.
What did he say? What did the priest say?
He was like, "It's totally okay. You're gonna be fine." Like, yeah, I still had to go.
As long as you know Jesus is real,
I had to
and put the
I had
money
to go
here.
say 10 Hail Marys anyways. Like when you get done with reconciliation, they
For
make
football?
you go, "Yeah, it's a bad story." But my point is,
It's not a bad story.
I held on to this for over a year.
You must have felt so guilty.
Oh, it's the worst.
Remember the kid guilt?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
That's what I want. It's kid guilt. It was tragic. I wanted to say to like my dad, "I'm sorry," and my mom, like, "I'm sorry that I'm taking this secret from you," because they would Santa, get your list for Santa, and in my head, I'm like, they don't know that I know that Santa's not real, and I didn't have the courage to tell them.
That's so funny. Just you and your parents with your hands on your hip, like, come on, brothers, get your list together.
Yeah, and one of my
So
brothers
Santa
made
can
great
go.
lists, great Christmas lists. So then my parents would get him they're like, "Well, Brian has a good list. He always tells us exactly what we want." And I couldn't put a good list together.
Did he have good handwriting too?
Yeah, he has very good handwriting. He's artistic.
Are you
He's
and your brother?
realistic.
Are you and both your brothers? Are they all into sports like you are?
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah.
We're all similar in some respect.
So he got, in some ways, was getting the presents
Way
you
better
kind
shit.
of wanted, but
Yeah.
didn't know how to articulate.
I didn't know how to ask for like the N64 the right way. I'm like
Yeah.
an N64 in all the games. 10 controllers.
All the games.
Well, because you were 7.
Yeah.
I mean, to your credit, your brother was older.
He was way more smart about it. You know, and in the meanwhile, I'm like getting mad and frustrated. This went on for like years in my house where finally I had a breakdown. I think I was in like 8th grade. I was like, you love him more than me. So
"No,
Christmas
he's
was
better,
kind of it was a struggle for a bit.
Oh my god, dude! It's like Mike's trying to say, "I want Toys R Us," and well, what do you want from there? Everything.
All of it.
Well, how do you? I feel like my parents weren't wealthy by any stretch of the imagination for any of these Christmases, and they have to go out and buy all these fucking presents. I don't know, why do people go along with it?
Well, do you remember? I don't know if you ever had this, where you would try to pre-get the birthday gift as a kid or pre-get the Christmas gift.
Oh,
Like it's 4 months before, like, come on, Christmas, give me the boombox, Christmas.
I have a
September?
birthday 1 month after Christmas, so
Okay.
it would always be like anything I need. Well, maybe for your birthday, like it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're
Like, and then immediately let down in 1 month later. You're like, oh, come on.
What about early Christmas? Early Christmas presents start after July 4th in my house growing
Oh,
up.
so you did the early Christmas?
Yeah,
thing.
like hey, I need the new TPX bat. You know, like you just got one of these. And it's like, well, you know, fucking Robbie Cummings has this one, and like it's really good. So like, yeah, sure, we can do that, but it's early Christmas. And for a long time, my parents never kept score. So when Christmas rolled around, it wasn't like they. Then one year, I did an early Christmas present. Let's say it was like let's pick anything out.
How early?
August.
Oh, dude, that is that.
And it was
I
a
would
big
start
day.
around
It's
August.
Say,
right
say
after my
ro-
birthday.
say
I'd start.
say rollerblades.
Okay.
Rollerblades.
I had the
School
ABT
started.
system.
I had K2s.
Okay.
Okay. I was learning how to grind the
That
rails.
was later.
Okay.
I had
This roller moment brought to you by Zen.
Is this a sponsor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take a break for our
Zen,
sponsors.
when you're rolling along, have some nicotine.
Do you mind?
No,
please?
go for it.
Diet Dr. Pepper. When you're on
You want
Ozempic,
3
it
or
fills
6?
you up.
Chicago booth. When you're out of career options, cut a $60,000 check for tuition.
Per year.
For real. I have an executive MBA from Notre Dame.
No.
Yeah,
Ooh, you still have the same job as LinkedIn as the other girl.
Yeah, exactly. Go make these fucking cold calls and shut the fuck up.
Guess what? Layoffs are coming, you boothies.
Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. December 20th. I can be in at 3 p.m. for 5 minutes. That's your job. Shut up. Who's sponsoring this?
Zen.
I have rollerblades. I'm in junior high. It's August. And we're opening. It was like the last present of Christmas. You know, my parents did such a good job of this. Like, oh, did you check behind the pantry? Like, no, Mom, because all the fucking trees
Yeah.
go under the present. Why would I be in the pantry looking for a present? There's one last one. And I go in, and it's like a small box. It looks like a like jewelry, like a small jewelry box. I open it, and it was just a picture of my rollerblades that I had been rolling along in for like 4 or 5 months. I'm like, this is the last present of Christmas is a reminder that you guys bought me rollerblades 5 months ago. You evil fucking
They
bastards.
should have like put that one in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, that should be the
That
first
is-
gift of Christmas.
yeah.
Is like reminder you got those roller. No, it's the last gift of Christmas, and obviously it didn't bother me at all.
When did hidden Christmas gifts become an Easter egg hunt? Like he's like looking for it all over the house.
Yeah, the drama. Like, did you know your father? Oh, Mark, you should not have. That's my mom talking about my dad.
Sure.
Oh, Mark.
You know. I think I've said this story before, but you know who really got me was my 8-year-old birthday and my sister, because everybody had Air Jordans, and I couldn't get them; they're too expensive. So she wrapped an Air Jordan box. So I'm like, no way, Air Jordans, and I'm in 3rd grade. All the kids are there. Summer birthday, because I had August birthday. They're all there. I open it, and then another box, and I open it. I'm like. And it's just a Nike keychain, and she's laughing so hard with her girlfriends.
Oh, she keychained you?
She keychained me, and I thought I had Air Jordans, and it ruined I took down all the streamers. I'm crying. I hate her.
Nice keychain?
You guys give her everything. You have a mustache.
And they're like, Chris, don't worry. You still have all your cologne you got for your 8th birthday.
All the cologne samples that my aunts would bring over because they all worked in retail.
When do you start getting cologne for your birthday as a Persian guy?
7 years old.
7
Not
years
kidding. I
old,
had a
yeah.
cologne collection. Another Persian kid in Oak Brook had a cologne collection.
I
We'd
believe-
compare all our samples.
Do you get cologne? Where does aftershave come into the mix?
No, because I started getting like hairy face like in 8th grade.
No way.
Yeah.
In 8th grade. What
Yeah.
about you?
Fucking not even now. I got a little bit of a mustache, but I can't grow a neck beard like Austin.
You and Austin got a full beard together.
Austin, our producer over here, is
Austin for sure has a beard. We just don't know what he's hiding.
it's
from.
like a neck beard transplant. It's like a Brian Urlacher billboard neck beard.
We love our producer. It's the holidays. Wouldn't it be nice his mom's watching?
He's not laughing nearly as hard as I thought he would at that. He's
No,
not
he
enjoying
would
like
this.
it.
It's a good neck beard. He looks great.
Poor guy's got a complex now.
Maybe that's the first episode of the new year.
She's like, I wouldn't have been on a date with you if you didn't have a beard. And I was like, really? But then the next day I hear that's horrible. I'm like, what? Which one is it?
Stop listening to her.
Yeah, women confuse us.
One girl.
I'm going to shave and be like, Mike told me to do this. She can refer you to everybody.
By all means, DMs are open.
And then if she, DMs are open. And then if she doesn't,
nod
and
to
then
the
if she doesn't
camera.
go for it, say just blame it on Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Just blame it on Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is. Michael,
He is. This is who Michael Jordan is to me.
Like, I sincerely think Michael Jordan ruined me. This
How?
is a working theory of mine.
Okay,
All right.
we got to hear it.
The oldest memories I have of sports is Michael Jordan winning the second championship. I believe it was
John Paxson's shot.
No, that was the third one against the Suns. The first one was against the Lakers, then the Blazers. So it was the Blazers championship.
Okay.
So I'm like, whatever, 6 years old. Until 1998, until I'm 13. Like, for that stretch period, like, you just grew up with the absolute best. Winning a championship was expected. So when he went away and the Bulls are like 20-62, I don't think I've ever recovered from that era of when Jordan was awesome. And now, as an adult, where like the Bears let us down, and like the Cubs are good for a year and then they're awful. I just go back to those Jordan years, and I really think he like ruined an entire generation of sports fans in Chicago for being so good. Like, that trade-off worth it to have Michael Jordan as a kid, only to turn into like this fucked up adult.
I wish I could have been an adult when it
Yeah, I was
happening.
15 for the last. Like I wanted to be. Well,
When
actually,
they drafted him,
no, I was 5. I'm 28.
you want to try that again?
But we're in our 20s on this podcast, and
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
we're not 40 and 37. We're young.
Bleep
and-
that out. Bleep
We're
that out.
young and cool.
bleep the ages out, because we have young sponsors. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
wanna-
true.
Hey, I don't want to go down this Jordan tangent. I just
But-
want to point out that this nutcracker reminds me of him in the basketball.
One of my, but to speak to what you're saying, I remember one of the memories of the Jazz Bulls finals was there was a school dance, and I just remember me and like 3 other guys just ignoring the dance entirely, having our back to it, and just watching the Bulls game like intensely. And it was just like, I didn't know that would be the last time that I got to see that.
Was that when
I
the
would
Mil-
have to watch fucking just some of the worst basketball of my life for the next 30 years? I didn't know.
No, we
I didn't
didn't.
enjoy it.
We didn't see it coming.
Was that when the mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays?
Hey, speaking of Jordan, now here's a full circle. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
I didn't write this down. I told you guys I wrote stuff down.
We don't write anything down. It's all up here.
My dad was a partner in a bowling alley on the south side of Chicago when I was a kid. He and his brother, so my uncle Timmy,
Oh,
had
the
a bowling
secondhand
alley.
smoke is just.
Oh, I mean, I'm still. And it's called Bleeckers on 95th
You
Street.
should have told
in
him about
Evergreen Park.
Zins.
Well, my uncle would be like, "Some fucking sins, you fucking pussies." Like, Timmy, you had cancer, and like this helps you not have cancer. He'd be like, "Yeah, fucking cancer pussies." So they own this bowling alley
love
together,
Timmy.
and he's great. And so one year we had like a bowling crew. We just got the year they got into business with the bowling alley. It was like this Christmas where like we got bowling shoes, we got bowling balls and stuff, and we went down in the. I was the first one up in the house, and I went down in the morning and just like screamed at the top of my lungs because there's this huge fucking black guy in our living room, and I did not see this coming at all. And it was actually a life-size cutout of Michael Jordan with a bowling ball. That was a promotional poster that my dad's bowling alley got that they thought would be awesome if like the kids came down to Michael Jordan in our living room when we were kids. It was like a large cardboard, 6'6", 200-pound cutout of Michael Jordan. And
Really heavy cutout.
One of the heaviest.
well, we
cutouts
got
ever.
it was delivered the night. I was like screaming. I was like, oh my god! And then I was like, oh my, no, it's just, I have to calm down. This is just a cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan.
You thought he was there.
And my dad came down and he's like, oh, yeah, what'd you think? I think we'll put it in your brother's room. I'm like, you fucking asshole. Like, I can't even get the Michael Jordan cutout. But there's a full circle. Like, we were just talking about Michael Jordan, and I had Christmas. He was underneath my Christmas tree one time. That was fucked up, man. That was so weird.
That's a dangerous game your uncle was getting into, using him for promotional material. Because he sued Dominic's for like $10 million.
I think it was like a...
Yeah.
But there was a time, dude, when like big athletes would do bowling stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Austin's not in his head in agreement. Like,
He was -10.
There was so much money in it. Like Miller Lite and beer sponsors, and people would pay to have athletes come in and like do promotional
appearances
stuff
at the bowling
for the
alley.
Professional Bowling Association,
awesome.
which had like a lot of money in it, I guess. So Jordan would take checks too. He probably lost a bet or something in there.
Yeah.
He's a great gambler.
Well, did you ever hear that story about how he would, when he would go golfing, he would just, in the trunk of his car, he would have a Sharpie, basketball, and jerseys. And he would, like, instead of paying out his debts, he'd be like, let's see, that's like 2 basketballs and a jersey.
I've heard some like
Instead of
country club
50K,
stories about
here
him.
you
I don't know
go.
what's real and what's not, but they are some pretty wild stories.
Yeah, I've heard awesome stories about it.
It's so funny to have that much money and be that cheap, too.
Hey, we're going to play 50 a hole. He'd play on a golf course, like 50 a hole. And there's a story of like a guy subbing in for a buddy who couldn't play. Because Jordan only plays golf with like a handful of people.
Okay.
This is like confirmed, right? Only plays golf with a handful like bettors, heavy gamblers. And one of them couldn't make it last second, was like, hey, my buddy will come and play with us. He's really good. And so Jordan like tells him on the first tee, it's 50 a hole. And the guy's like, all right, cool, whatever.
$50 or 50.
Just says 50 a
Okay,
hole.
okay.
So then they get done, and the guy wins 5. He's up 5 holes on Jordan at the end. Jordan gave him a bag of cash, $250,000. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I told you, 50 a hole. He's like, I thought you meant $50. I'm not taking this. And he's like, you better fucking take it, because if I lost it, I'd want it from you. And he's like, okay, dude,
Oh, no.
take the money. And the guy's like, heart's beating out of his chest, right?
Yeah.
He keeps the money. Jordan was cool about it.
I'd be so scared.
It's like, that's like if you're in jail and they're like, no, you take these fruit snacks. They'll be good for you. I got them for you. I got these
I would
fruit
be like,
snacks.
well, okay, can I get half and we be best friends?
No.
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 Or can you help me with make it take it?
He's amazing. I wish Jordan was this popular now, because the press on him would be so fun.
Like if he was around during camera phones and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh my god.
He would
The
be.
amount of fucking that guy did.
Yeah.
I'm getting horny.
Are you?
No.
Would you have sex with Michael Jordan?
Yes,
I can't answer that right now.
I would.
Not with our
2
sponsors.
confirmed yeses.
You're a yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would
sure.
just like lay next to him.
Yeah.
And I would say,
That's
are we going to
3.
be best friends?
Would I fuck Jordan? I would not. I don't know. That would be inappropriate.
I like how you prepared a list of things to talk about,
yeah.
and we're 5 minutes in, and I'm like, would you fuck Michael Jordan?
I'm like at a deposition right now, and he's like,
Yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is Scottie Pippen's ass.
Yeah.
Is that open for business?
Oh, yeah.
What I want to talk about is January 12th at the United Center when Pippen and Jordan will be reunited. They're not talking. Like, little Jordan is with Larissa. Mm-hmm. And she had to have at
Larsa.
some point.
Larsa Pippen.
Larsa.
Yeah.
That's Larissa.
No,
She
it's
had to at
Larsa.
some point watch Marcus. Like, there was a moment where maybe she went, like, Jordan was going to the bathroom or, like, hey, and, like, keep an eye on the boys. And now she's keeping an eye on him
Forever.
This is brought to you by Jesus Christ, Roman Catholic Church. This
If
is
you're
a
feeling
sponsored
lost,
segment.
you
Feel
can
free to
find
donate
hope.
to the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, she definitely. I'll watch the kids. You guys go out for a little bit.
So she
Like, when do we start pointing a finger at her and be like, you are
groomed him. You groomed him.
a
She
little scandalous here?
Chris doesn't believe in that kind of stuff. He thinks that if you're 14, you should be able to fuck adults.
No.
Only if you're a guy, though.
I said teachers who are in their early 20s, women and if I had a
You
son,
don't have to comment.
Is there a
16 or
disclaimer on this podcast?
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay. If I had a son and he was a junior in high school,
Like this is
And-
the clip that comes back like a year from now, and it's like, did you see Mike Sterk was on this show listening to this? I'm gonna be running for alderman in a decade, and this is gonna be. So there's gonna be running this
That's
clip.
what I said. Maybe just don't comment. on this.
WGN is just gonna be running this clip around
I
the
would
clock.
not take this any further.
Yeah. All right. What do you got?
All right, so
Back to aliens.
MacGyver season 4. That's
Okay.
the worst present I've ever gotten. MacGyver season 4 on DVD.
It's pretty rough.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
that as a present?
Because the year before, I told you guys I'm bad at writing lists. I wrote out like a DVD series on TV that I would enjoy. Like I put the ball in Santa's court.
Sure.
You know, something I'd enjoy. And I got the first season of 24.
Yeah,
good.
that's the only DVDs I ever really
good.
had.
That fucking hits.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
That hits.
24.
I got my
was-
dad the first season of 24 one year for
And
Christmas.
beep,
You and my dad got the same
beep,
present.
beep.
Yeah.
And she's a comedian now. His the Kiefer Sutherland's the assistant in the 24.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's no, that was VIP with Pam Anderson. I was gonna say maybe she was in the same series. Anyways, very attractive actress. I'm getting away from the point. The next Christmas, I doubled down. It was like another DVD series that I would enjoy. I can't make it. It was MacGyver. I opened up as MacGyver. I was like, this is a stretch. I know Grammy used to like it. And then I see underneath it says season 4. I was
Just
like,
jumping right in.
yeah, I didn't have seasons 1 through 3. I've never watched an episode.
You're like, what's he doing the paperclip? I don't get this guy.
And we can edit this out, but do you mind if I just like put my mom on speakerphone real quick? And
Yeah,
ask
we
her,
don't
what's
edit.
the
So
worst?
go ahead.
What's the worst present she ever gave me? Call my mom.
Her worst present is going to be not answering your phone call.
I know she's bowling right now. She's retired. She bowls.
During the day?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, mom?
I'm at my bowling luncheon.
Oh, a luncheon. Okay, quick. I'm recording a podcast with my friend, and I'm curious if we're talking about worst Christmas presents ever. Do you remember the worst Christmas present do you think like Santa would say he ever gave me?
That Santa gave you. I was just thinking of those board shorts that Lori gave you. Do you remember those board shorts?
Don't push this off to Aunt Lori. I'm talking about
All
Santa.
right, so something that Santa gave you that was the worst.
It was
gift.
just like, what are we doing here, Santa? Come on.
Mhm. Mm.
Another piece of scramble and you roll it up.
Mm.
I did it.
Anything, Mom. I'm getting embarrassed now.
No, I know. I'm trying to come up with something that's clever. Maybe your dad would know.
I'll give you a hint. Pocket knife.
Oh,
So somebody goes tough.
a pocket knife? I gave you a pocket knife?
No, Mom.
A Swiss Army knife?
No, a man uses a Swiss Army knife frequently in the gift that you gave me.
Double when they take it away from you.
Fuck. MacGyver, Mom. It's MacGyver. Season 4.
Okay, I gave you. Oh, I can't believe I went brain dead, Michael. I knew it was in the back of my mind. I'm going, I did something that was really awful. Yes, you did for MacGyver. Oh my God, that was embarrassing.
Almost as embarrassing as this, Mom.
That was embarrassing that I couldn't even remember. It was so bad.
Yeah, I'm like telling the story like, oh, it's like a legendary thing. Like, watch I'm going to call my mom. She's going to go right away. You blocked it out. You escaped from that memory.
PTSD from MacGyver season 4.
Block it. It must have been a good block. Sorry.
I love you. I love you. How'd you bowl today?
Love you. Bye bye.
She's retired for being your mom.
You need a minute?
Well, I
to
told you
collect
guys that,
yourself?
like, so that I grew up in that house for Christmas. That was
Imagine if your brother had called, you know?
now
Back to our sponsor, LaCroix. You're gonna help.
when
Mike
you don't
out.
edit anything out, do you?
No. This is a
Thanks.
uncensored podcast.
Yeah, we're really pushing the envelope.
I'm gonna shut up now. couple bad stories. Couple mom doesn't even know what's going on with guy.
No.
Wrote this shit down ahead of time.
No.
No.
You guys are
It's
good
the
friends.
holiday season.
You guys are good friends.
You're
You guys are
doing
holidays.
great. You're doing great.
I get nervous on shows. I get nervous.
You should. There's a huge audience for this.
We're basically the modern day Oprah.
Yeah, this is a big audience, so you're gonna want to be nervous. Do you? Would you ever get if you had kids? Would you? You don't have kids, right?
Not yet. No, we're trying. I mean that sincerely. I'm trying to have kids as bad as possible.
Nice. Do you hope to give them a bad gift that they remember one day?
Well, they have to have like one gag. Like, there's got to be a gag or a bit every year that
yeah,
they remember
yeah.
that stands out. It's like, oh, that's the Christmas where this happened. So I'm interested in that. But there's a point, like the consciousness. When does that start? Like, I don't know if I had a good Christmas when I was 1 or 2.
Don't remember
or
it.
3.
Don't remember
Or
it.
4.
Don't remember
Or
it.
5. 6 is where it's like kindergarten Christmas is where it starts to kick in. Where I'm like,
You remember
oh,
your
that's the-
teachers, you remember your
Yeah,
friends.
like that's where I got Batman. I remember
Yeah.
the Batman game and stuff. So probably for the first 5 years, I'll give my kids a horrible Christmas.
Yeah. You're such a weird kid whenever you're that age too. It's such a weird time to start remembering things. Not
You.
just in general.
All of us.
All of us.
Yeah, we're all just
Everyone.
weird. We're weird little humans.
Everybody's who's got a Zen in their mouth right now. The community.
What flavor is this?
We're
Is this
citrus.
Cranberry.
Feel free.
Yeah, it's
It is our sponsor. Feel free.
holiday flavor. They do a holiday flavor.
Is this an eggnog Zin? This is delicious.
Mashed potatoes.
They're coming out with a
Zen?
mistletoe Zen. Once you put it in your mouth, everybody kisses you.
Okay, let me.
Ham.
There's an elephant in the room. Like, did you celebrate Christmas as a kid? Like
Elephant or a camel? What would you like to say?
What did you guys write in on? What did Santa write in on for you?
I think of Asia and I think elephant, so that's why I was trying to be broad and inclusive.
Well, the Middle East is on the tip of Asia, but we celebrated Christmas. My parents came here, and my mom came here in 1968. My dad came in the 70s. I was born in 96, and when we started celebrating Christmas, we had a gift exchange. All my cousins, we had a big family. There was never religion centered around it. It was more the idea of a lot of food, gifts, family, and we always celebrated it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Because do you believe in Jesus?
I believe that there's a higher power, and I believe in Jesus.
Spiritual.
See, because that's what's awesome about Christmas is it's like, yeah, we're just it's like we're just taking like there's
I
so
went to
many
Young
people
Life,
that just
guys.
like sold out on it. We're just like, I'll just take the good part. I just want the Christmas. I just want the Christmas, and that's all I want. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to believe. I don't want to do anything. We're just doing fucking Christmas this year, and it's awesome. I'm like a little jealous of the people that got Christmas and didn't have to go to church every Sunday. Like, I went to Catholic school. I had to study.
You felt like
also.
you earned it a
Yeah,
little bit.
like, okay,
Yeah,
fine. I put
sometimes
up with
it-
this.
yeah.
I'm getting Christmas, and then you look over and it's like, you never go to church. Why do you get a Christmas?
Well, there are kids who have to really earn it in the Catholic Church.
Jesus Christ.
In what way? Can you expand?
Don't
Didn't really go anywhere.
expand that.
No, I was just trying to get him in trouble.
But back to
All right, I'm gonna have to get my list back.
No,
yeah, I think the list
the
should
list.
come
but
back.
back
yeah.
to the Jordan years and
No.
in the Chicago Cubs. You have to say one thing that we got lucky as adults when we were drinking, having a good time, to see that World Series and the
Okay.
way that we won.
Yeah.
That was like, we can hold on to that.
That
for,
felt like
we-
Christmas.
yeah,
That
we can
when
hang
you
on to
watched
that
all
for
these
a
bad-
long time.
Yeah,
Watched all
let's
these
talk
bad
about Cubs.
WGN years when you were a kid, and then finally Christmas comes.
Were you a Cubs fan from the beginning, like your whole neighborhood,
I
everyone?
was a White Sox fan. I'm from White Sox country.
Okay.
And my dad's a huge White Sox fan. He loves
Okay.
the White Sox. My mom is a Cubs fan because her parents are from the North Side.
Okay.
So there's mom Cubs, dad White Sox. And then my oldest brother is a Cubs fan because he's got diabetes and Ron Santo's charity. And then my middle brother is a White Sox fan because that's competitive. And then I was the last one to pick. And they let me pick.
You picked like in high school, or when did you pick, you think?
I picked when I found out you had to pick one.
Same.
It's so
Like
funny.
sixth
I was 14
grade.
I was
You know, I'm
14,
like, I'm
yeah.
watching
Draft
a ball.
day.
I'm like talking to my buddies, like, you can't be a White Sox and a Cubs fan. I was like, all right, fine. And I'm a Cubs fan. And like, that was it. And just
Yeah.
like, that's the decision.
That's the decision.
The playground decision. Now I'm walking around with it as an adult, which is a good decision in the long run. But
Think of all the agony that's caused you.
oh man,
My dad had a very close friend, Richard, who took me to my first Sox game, and I got my first autograph, Don Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walked
first
on at
autograph.
Illinois. He's a local guy.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah,
See?
that's a great story. Don Paul's like a regular Joe at school at Illinois, walks on the baseball team at Illinois, turns out to be like this all-American relief pitcher, and then ends up playing his career for the White Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's from
he
like
was-
Evergreen Park.
Damn.
And he was
This is
known
like
as
a
the
dream
guy.
come true for him.
Well, you remember the warm-ups and stuff, so he was known as the guy, if you get there early enough, Don Paul was always signing your autograph.
Do you know what his nickname was?
No.
The Pope.
Pope?
Pope Don Paul.
Oh, God bless him.
Because John Paul was the Pope at the time. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not as religious as this podcast comes out. But I was gonna say, I'm not
Do you want to repent? or-
Deacon Mike. So what about Chris Kindle up at Wrigleyville? You guys go up to that at all?
I haven't been yet.
Not for
The
me.
Village?
I think I will give the, and Mike's not going to like this, but I will give the Ricketts some credit. I didn't think Wrigley would improve. I thought it'd be worse for Wrigley, like the character, the dive bars, the bars, like building all that. But it's getting a lot of traffic. A lot of people are going there. Like was always this stop where you go behind, you take the picture. But now people are going to Wrigley, ice skating, all that stuff.
I went
Like,
there
it's-
last week. I used to live there when I was like 15 years ago.
Okay, when
It
you were
would be
12.
when I was 12. I had an apartment there.
Yeah, your parents, it was like boarding school. They sent you over.
But I would like scalp tickets during the season, like Cubs tickets. That was my job. And then off season, like I just lived in Wrigleyville, and it was dead. You could get a $2 beer anywhere you went. They literally, I went to Lucky's, and they had to stop doing the special. They had it was $1 32-ounce beer. And they stopped doing the special because too many homeless people were coming in. Like that's
Oh my God.
that's where Wrigleyville was. And then now I went like a week ago, and it was like I couldn't park my car because there were so many people in December there.
And it's $61 for a Bud Light.
But they wanted to do that. See,
Yeah.
that's where like the credit comes in. You say I want to give credit to the Ricketts. So they accomplished their goal, which was making it a national destination. You know, it had always been a national destination because it's Wrigley Field. If you come to Chicago, you want to go to a Cubs game. There's a stat that like around 50% of people at Cubs games are in Wrigley Field for the first time.
Whoa,
No way.
Every time.
Yeah,
It's that much of a tourist destination.
correct.
Maybe the greatest tourist destination in
How about
Chicago.
that look that you just had? That's exactly what I had, and that's how I feel every time I bring that stat up is the amount of people that are in there engaging with Wrigley Field for the first time. I've probably been to 400 Cubs games,
Yeah.
300, something along those lines. And it's just a completely different relationship as a Cubs fan and somebody that lives in the neighborhood who wants to go have a good time. So when they redid all that shit, they got rid of so many of the best bars. And now everything's so commercial. But they dress it up as this local, hey, we have a big star.
Yeah.
You got a Smoke Daddy barbecue and all
Sure.
stuff. But it wasn't what made that place great and showed up. And I still don't know
If it's an improvement or not?
if it's an improvement or not. Yeah, I liked it when I'm younger and you can be an asshole and run around and be an idiot, do all that stuff. But now it's also nice, like, well, there's a hotel there. I could go with my wife and have a nice, dinner at the hotel and
Yeah.
go to a Cubs game and get a room. So like it's matured. As I've gotten older, Wrigley's gotten better for people that get older, but I do think about the other generations, like the young kids that don't have the opportunity to run around and be such
wild.
idiots.
You could do anything.
It was more reckless than college.
But that's kind of like we young kids will never like go like this for a cab. Like young kids like can just go on the app and like order their food. They don't have to call like Chicago's Pizza drunk at
Can
like
they
10
now?
p.m.
Because all that stuff costs a lot of money. I never had any money as a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm amazed with how young kids that spend money on Uber Eats.
Yeah. How?
It's so
How?
I
expensive.
didn't.
Like
I couldn't afford
$30
it.
on a McDonald's order?
I
Are
couldn't
you
afford
fucking
Uber
kidding
Eats
me?
until I was like 34
No,
years
even
old.
now I get guilty
Yeah.
putting in takeout because I don't know, it's so expensive, but it's just different. How about that? It's just different. Is it better? I don't know. It's just different. I think the Cubs are going to be pretty good this year. How about that?
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I think they're going to be okay.
How do you feel about? I don't even want to say the name. Us not getting him.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get Shohei Ohtani. That's sad. It would have been nice. And he's a Japanese baseball player that's very good. Yeah,
pitches and bats.
and
yeah.
bats.
But he
it
had
would've been
Tommy
cool.
John twice already.
Yeah.
How has Tommy John become like a sprained ankle all of a
See,
sudden?
but they're not.
They're not pitching him next year though, right?
He won't pitch. He's just gonna hit for the Dodgers. He's fucking awesome.
Is there a chance though,
70
after a
million?
second Tommy John, he might not be who he was 4 years ago?
No.
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 There's no chance.
That's not the same surgery it was like. 10,
Yeah, the
15
science and
years ago.
technology is so advanced. Like he's gonna come back better.
Is there a
Same thing
chance that when they took him to Nobu to court him, he had bad sushi? And he's like, fuck this, I'm going to LA?
I regret to inform you, he did not get to eat at Nobu.
Didn't he?
Oh,
he
he
didn't go
didn't?
anywhere, right?
I thought they took him
Yeah.
to Nobu. They
You had to
like,
go
room.
see him.
It wasn't him?
You had to go see him.
LA was the only one he went to. Is that right?
We're gonna beat him with good team play. Ugh, I hate
Sounds like
saying
a
that.
Little League coach.
We're not. We'll be okay. I didn't say we were going to win a World Series, but they'll be able to fill up. See, this is a problem. This is a serious point as a Cubs fan. They're going to be good enough so that people go and fill the stadium, and it's a successful business. Like every year, they're going to turn a profit. It's a huge brand. They're going to do the convention, and they'll sell all this merchandise and shit. And at some point, you're going to be you're so successful. Like, who cares if you win a championship or if you don't win a championship? Because every single year, you're just rolling along. I think
As
that's
the owners, because they're always profitable.
fuck.
That's what the Bulls do too. They're just
Correct.
like they would love to win like 45 games every year.
That's what
50
everybody in the
games.
city
Okay,
does.
dumb questions for me now. NBA Bulls, is there a salary cap?
Yeah.
Cubs, is there a salary cap?
No.
So you could just spend $600 million, have an all-star team?
That's, what
All
the
the
Dodgers,
money.
that's literally what the Dodgers do.
But does that work? Because remember the 2005 Lakers in the NBA, that didn't work.
That's-
Oh, Gary Payton and Karl Malone.
when you were 9.
When I was 7.
It doesn't always work. It doesn't. And then what the problem is, if you go spend a lot of money on free agents, it doesn't work. Then you trade those free agents, and then your team's awful for a long time. So
So that's why Phil Jackson should coach the Cubs.
I think Phil Jackson would be an amazing baseball coach, manager.
He's got manager vibes. He's got
He's
baseball
too tall for a
manager
baseball
vibes.
uniform. He's like 7 feet.
He's taller than the umps.
Why are managers still wearing the uniforms?
That's like my least favorite thing about baseball.
It's
is
so
the manager in a
silly.
uniform.
But what would they wear? Like a Tommy Bahama shirt? And just go
No,
out
but
there?
like
and
The reason is because
wear the
the
jacket.
original managers were players.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either.
Did you also know they didn't start wearing uniform numbers until the late 20s because when the Depression came in, it was a new revenue generator to create a scorecard that people would be able to buy when you come into the stadium. And so the Yankees did it first. They started putting numbers on the back of what position you played. Babe Ruth played first base, so he wore number 3, or whatever.
Oh, to make it easy.
Or I shouldn't say like right, whatever
Yeah.
And that's on the way. And we might not be here
or
next
where
year.
they hit in the order. I mean, he didn't play
So
first base.
how
played right
long
field.
before they put last names on it?
Well, the Yankees still don't put last names on. They didn't do
Yeah.
that until, I would say, probably the 50s, 60s
Okay.
maybe.
And probably another thing where it's just like we can make money this way.
But think of this, in their first 50 years in baseball history, they didn't have numbers on the back of the uniforms.
Really?
that's crazy.
And the only reason they did it was to make money in the Depression.
Which we could be facing the Depression very soon.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this is the last Christmas, I think.
This is the last.
The election coming. I mean,
For those
who
of
can
us that are
get-
converting to Islam.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you
Last
have
Christmas.
Oh God.
If it's last Christmas, how are you feeling? Like are you gonna
I'm
celebrate?
pumped. I'm pumped because I talked to my dad and he's like, "Well, we're getting beef tenderloin, so it'll be a good one."
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going out on top.
You want to make sure you end on
Yeah,
top.
we're-
Yeah.
And he's like, I got this sous vide cooking method or sous vide something. So yeah, it's gonna be a big Christmas.
How big is your Christmas, your family Christmas?
Um,
Is it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Eve my side, Christmas Day my wife's side.
Okay. And who has the bigger family?
How about equal sized? About equal
Oh.
sized.
Ooh, I like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Are you guys got both weirdos on both sides? Like enough to where you kind of even it out, where you got like a cousin that matches with her uncle almost.
I'm probably the weird one in my
Yeah.
family.
That's I always had more weird ones too.
Yeah. I don't have that many weird cousins.
Yeah.
They're all like, pharmacists and sales.
Yeah, I
like
have pretty good cousins too. Yeah, I would be
accountants,
considered the weird one.
nurse, 2 nurses. I have good cousins, generally speaking. That's why when you start to go through the list, it's like, oh wait, I'm the weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might.
I think guys, I would say we're the
You
weird
look
ones.
like you have 25,000 cousins.
I do.
And they
I
married
do.
each other.
Not each other, but not too far away.
It's just a face of a guy where I can just see like a couple thousand different iterations.
It's genuinely.
of you.
I think on one side I have like 40 cousins or something like that.
Do you
It's-
see them
it's
ever or no?
crazy. Yeah, I'll see them because they'll just like show up in bunches, places.
You see them together?
Right. So we used to rent out a community center to have our Christmas at.
Really?
Because no one's house.
Yeah,
was
that's
big
the
enough.
type of face I was talking about. You have to get the local VFW hall. You got to hire a bartender.
The Jello,
Yeah.
the different levels of mac and cheese.
Yeah, get like the Brown's chicken spread.
Yeah. You don't want that mac and cheese. She makes the bad one. You gotta do that. You gotta get this one. You gotta
This
try
cranberry
my
sauce is
mom's.
out of a can. Go down there.
like a
Cheryl's
really
is way better.
Yeah,
bad-
that's my mom's name.
Cheryl? Love her.
It's like a really bad gift exchange because some part of the family is like not doing too
Oh.
well financially. So
Oh
like you
my
got to
God.
set like a $20 limit.
It became a yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then it became just for so then we started doing like, but it was even then it would be like someone like knitted something and you're like, I don't
Fuck. Hold it up. Show it to the camera.
take a picture and you're like,
What is it? Tell us what it is. It's a sweater. It's red. It's
sweatshirt. I'm 25.
I remember those gift exchanges on
Fuck.
those gift exchanges that we'd have at my aunt's house on Christmas Day. It was like family, friends, and family and cousins. This is in the 90s, so I was 2, but we had garbage bags, and we get all these awesome gifts, like anywhere from $30 to $100. We'd walk out of there like crushing, and then all of a
sounds
sudden,
awesome.
2000 happens, the .com. So everybody must have just been bad stock traders that they're like, okay, everyone, one gift, it's a grab bag, $50, and that's how it's just been.
Oh, you guys haven't adjusted for CPI,
No,
Consumer Price Index.
it's just.
Look who's got a meeting at
I'm
3:05 at
just
the Board of
saying.
Trade.
Well, no. One thing you don't know, nobody knows this about Mike, is his academic acumen is wild.
Yeah,
He's a
you're like
C-
smart.
He's
huh?
a master's in accounting, CPA.
You're a smart guy, huh?
Tell us about law school, please.
I have 75 of the 90 hours of law school complete, and I will not get the last 15.
You went to fucking law school for
Should
2
give you
years.
like an honorary one.
Yeah, it's
Tell us the story.
All right,
It's interesting to me.
which story?
Okay, so you're a CPA by trade, then you go to law school, and you get straight A's for 2 years.
I did well the first year.
Were you a big drinker then?
Yeah, I mean, like we went out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Though.
But you got your
I
work
didn't,
done.
I didn't go out a lot in college. I played baseball and was like super serious.
Okay.
Like I did not socialize that much.
Like
in
rubbing
college.
your elbow and getting ready for the game?
Like I would just be nervous that I was going to miss practice or I'd be hungover, and I was so nervous
Wow,
about
going to
getting
U of I
cut.
and not going out.
Like really, I didn't. I was very serious.
Because you can get into the bars at 19.
You can get
Yeah.
in a lot of trouble. I
Yeah.
did get in a lot of trouble my freshman year, and I wasn't on the baseball team. Then I walked on my sophomore year.
And that changed your life.
What position did you
as
play?
a pitcher.
Nice.
And I wanted to play there very badly. Like I spent my freshman year working out trying to get on the baseball team.
obviously like that's a big deal. For
Yeah,
you.
I like
Yeah.
Illinois a lot.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to play on that team because I wanted to. But when I got out, I wanted to work in a front office for baseball. I wanted to be like work for Theo Epstein and be a GM and make trades and shit. So the path into that, I had met guys in baseball, and they were like, "You should, if you study accounting, that'll help. If you go to law school, you already play on the team, and then you can kind of network your way into like a front office entry level job."
Ah, okay.
So that was kind of the general idea. I was going to go to law school and do all that stuff. And then I got to law school. I just fucking hated it so much. I cannot begin to tell you how much I disliked the overall experience because it was so expensive to be there. You're studying an extremely like complicated, nuanced subject matter, right? Where like every word matters. It's very narrow focused, and the relationships that come out of law school were not great. Like it was like high school. It was worse than high school. It was like junior high. It was like not doing a good job of explaining this because I don't want to like be too salty about it. But I just had like a hard time connecting with people because it was like
In law school.
Yeah, we're spending a lot of money on this, and people would just get caught up on like, did you hear who so and so is sleeping with? And
You wanted more camaraderie. You wanted to be like the baseball
super
team.
competitive. Yeah.
Okay.
It was super competitive about like the dumbest shit. And
Well, you probably got all the competitive shit out in baseball. Where you
I was
didn't
like,
really
yeah, I'm
need
not.
that.
I don't.
Yeah.
This is not a place I want to be
Yeah,
competitive
yeah.
in the least bit.
Yeah,
Like, at all.
Because I feel like if you're super competitive in one thing, you do want like the rest of your life.
It's
to
in
be
you.
kind of
It's
like,
the dog in you.
And I don't want to let it out. Like that's a place where it's like we're not competing against each other that hard. Like there will be a time and place in your career where you're competing and you want the best and you're willing to go to certain places that are pretty fucked up. You're willing to do a lot to get what you want.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the time you killed that guy?
How about it?
Yeah.
They're still looking for that body
Salt shed.
floating down the river.
25-year-old Caucasian.
can't believe he jumped in the river.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing to
Can't
do.
believe 71 guys, all in their 20s, jumped in the
Yeah.
river.
Those young guys love jumping into the river after concerts.
Did you want to pursue higher education? You want to be a dentist?
No, my family was, they gave up on me academically by my second year at University of Illinois. I went to a junior college for 2 years. I did really well. And then I said, I'm going to do
Parkland?
this.
Did you go to Parkland?
No, I went to Lincoln College in Lincoln, Illinois.
Okay.
No.
I was there for 2 years, yeah. And I had almost straight A's. And then I went to Illinois and I was studying business. And then I just went to poli-sci and I was there for 20 years.
You're like still in school there.
I'm still there, yeah.
He's bartending at Cam's on Thursdays.
On Thursdays once a month. It's grass bartending.
It's 2 for 1 if you
Yeah.
guys want to come on down.
One of the only 28-year-olds who still bartends.
I dropped out of law school ultimately.
Do you have any regrets about it or no?
Yeah, a little bit, because if I had a JD CPA combo, then like the entrepreneurial aspect of life is just way broader. I mean, I still have a CPA. I've got cool work experience, but
JD, CPA,
Yeah.
SMD to the
but
universe.
like, does it really matter?
I was
then?
gonna say, I think your life's worked out pretty cool.
Yeah, like, does it really matter? If someone's gonna be like, oh, he doesn't have his JD, they
Yeah.
probably don't want to be.
It's more like the MD, because it's like he doesn't have his MD, but he's going to, examine
Still
me.
do it, yeah.
Not examining you, Christopher. I mean, if I was, I'd look inside that head of yours and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you.
So many things.
I have a psychologist. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield. pays
He's got
for
this
it.
bit he does where he'll go, stop yelling at me. And I'll be like, I'm not yelling.
And he continues to get.
And then I just get
raise his
louder
voice.
and louder.
Yeah, you can be mad dad real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, he sets traps for me,
Yeah.
though. Which I don't like people that set traps for people. Like, I don't think there's anything funny about me intentionally getting you worked up.
It's more of a friendly trap.
Yeah.
It's not with malice.
And I meet it like, okay, you want to see me get worked up? You want it?
And
I'll
I just,
give it to you.
I want it. And I just get calmer and calmer. I'm internally laughing. Like,
Fucking.
Just lower your voice even more.
yeah. I learned that at Young Life.
Here's another problem with law. Lawyers don't retire. You're a
They do
bitch
not.
until you're 45 or 50. Like, I
Unless
look
you
at
have
it,
your own firm, right? Or no?
Yeah, but then that's a lot of work.
And you got to watch everybody and all the other lawyers and
Sure,
sign off
but
on
then,
their work.
yeah, I guess you're right. If you do well enough, then you don't have to work for people. But I went to law school during the middle of the financial crisis. Remember that? When we got out of
2008.
and people,
Got out of college.
You just graduated
around
college then.
no one had, like, kids today, people graduating college now are curious about careers and what is this job going to do for me and how does this help me? When we were getting out of college, it was like, just get a job.
then. Yeah.
Like,
It was,
if you got health insurance, that was sick. If it
Good
wasn't
job
an
answering
hourly
questions.
job,
Health
if they were like,
insurance.
you are an employee, you get a badge and it opens doors at this fucking building in Schaumburg, amazing.
It's like, how am I going to pay for Busch Light?
Yeah.
And how many roommates can I have?
Yeah, sure. So, like, I'll be a group sales rep at Unum. I'll fucking talk to somebody about their vision insurance. Sure.
Were you a phone banger ever? Like for work?
Let's do that.
I would
I now want to hear your pitch when you're the phone banger. You're calling me. What were you phone
like
banging?
if I'm
Yeah,
like
either telemarketing or you had to do those bad sales.
No,
you be
I
the
never
client.
did.
You be the client. I'll give you the
I didn't
product.
really do sales that much. I did like customer support. It was way worse. It was just
At Uber, right?
I was banging a phone because I was mad that people were screaming at me.
These are people that already decided to do business with the company, and you have to interact with the people that have made this decision.
It's a very large company, by
And
the
they
way.
are not getting what they want.
They are not getting what they want.
they
are
have to talk
mad,
to you.
and they got to talk to me.
That is a horrible job.
a guy that does not care. Like I was really not caring a lot.
I've emailed you guys 3 times about this subscription service. You're like, okay, I'm looking in the system
Yeah.
here.
And
Do you see that last email?
I just signed you up again. I'm gonna go.
What about you? Did you ever have to make cold calls for people to set
Yeah,
meetings?
I interned for 3 summers at Northwestern Mutual.
You are a Northwestern Mutual intern.
Not a lot of cousins in that building.
No.
No.
I was the darkest guy there.
That's not what I meant by cousins, but
Jeez.
sure. But sure.
You really like going there.
No, I met my cousins. Like not my cousins didn't work there.
Okay.
Did you like Northwestern Mutual?
Uh,
How about this? What was the first call script you remember?
yes. You had to call at least, it's called 100 dials. So you had to call at least 100 people. You had to make a family tree, friends, family, people who are of success or people who could put $50 a month into a whole life insurance policy. They were called 65 Lives. So I had to call someone like Mike, who had just graduated University of Illinois, and he's going to law school. And I'd say, Mike, you may get cancer later in your life. But if you guarantee your insurability now,
Yeah, you can lock in your rate.
you can lock in your rate.
I did
And-
do that for a summer.
Yeah.
I did work for an insurance.
I got the power of 10 because if you get 10 clients that summer, you get to go to Milwaukee and
Ooh,
get wasted with all the
hold
hot
on.
secretaries. And I got to go there.
I didn't know you get to move to a
Rip-
worse city.
Riverfront.
Yeah, I was doing it all. I wore a black suit that was my dad's suit, so like the things were too short here because I was taller than him, and then I was just baggy. I looked like MC Hammer.
Yeah.
And I went up there for the power of 10, and I was like, I got 12 clients this summer. I had 12 mics to give me $50 to $200 a month.
That's so sad.
And all the
a
ladies
lot
in their
of-
mid-30s who were very pretty thought I was handsome and liked me, and I didn't know what to do because I was so nervous.
Yeah. Then why do you think a 15-year-old could handle it? Never mind.
Because he was 15 at the time. What year was this?
Yeah, I was a prodigy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. If you could change one rule in baseball, what would you change?
I think that they should play games Wednesday through Sunday, and every Monday and Tuesday should be off, and you play the same team every week.
Ooh, I like that.
So a great thing about football is the Bears will have played the Browns this past week.
Yeah.
It was Browns week. So on Monday, you're thinking about the Browns. On Tuesday, you're thinking about the whole week is like
I love
Bears versus Browns. In baseball, everybody's off on their own fucking schedule. 3 against Miami, then we're going to go up and play Philly, and then you're off for a day, and none of it's synchronized. So it's just such a local, for the athletes that are competing, they don't have any like predictability or relatability from one team to the other. Injuries would be mitigated tremendously if everybody got Monday and Tuesday off. It would give fans an opportunity to kind of like, all right, I can reset. I don't need to
Do
be
you think that's
fucking
part of why
watching the
football is
game
so
every day.
popular?
Yeah, I think it's
Is
so
because
easy.
it's so easy to be a football fan. You show up once a week and you're like, this fucking rules.
Yeah, super fucking easy.
Sit on your couch for 9 hours and just have a nice time.
I think for baseball too, the pitching matchups are a huge pull. And there's 5 starting pitchers, so play 5 games a week.
Yeah.
And then match up your starting pitching with the other team.
Ooh, I like this idea.
And then it's better for fans to travel and see the team. So I'm like a Cubs fan, I want to go watch them play. And Yankees, it's like, oh, it's Yankees week. There's 5 games where they play the Yankees this week. So
And isn't that so much more marketable too?
I think it's
I
way
think
more
so.
marketable.
And it makes the playoffs more fun because then you have rivalries.
And so, like, if you go into a Sunday and the series is tied 2-2, it makes that Sunday game so much more
Yeah.
valuable, and you can stagger times better. So some teams play in the day on Thursday, some teams play at night. So there's kind of like this steady flow of baseball. Not some days where it's like, oh, there's no day games, and then other days there's fucking games. There's 6 games at 11:30. Scheduling it in lower 162 games is too many. If they do like 145 games, 140 games, just make it easier for me to know what the fuck is going on.
This
For
is
everybody.
many of the same complaints I have about basketball.
Yeah.
Too many games.
How was that for an answer? Would you do that,
I love that idea. I think it's a great answer.
Austin?
I agree. That's why I don't watch baseball.
I just wish when I had 1 hit all year and they caught it in Little League that they would have counted it as a hit because I only had 1 and it was Little League.
Were you really that bad?
Yeah, I couldn't make pony, so they held me back. So
You
I was
couldn't
still in
make
Major
Pony
A.
League.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know
I was
that you
12 years old
couldn't
with a
make it.
10-year-old.
It's a traumatic sport to play as a young kid. For sure.
remember not making the All-Star team and like checking after church. Sorry. Checking after church to see if I made the All-Star team because they put it up and didn't make it, and then had to like not cry in front of my parents as like a 12-year-old, and you're like, I'm cool, I'm good, I don't care.
So, like, I still am not over the fact that I got cut from my All-Star team.
Yeah.
And that, like, propelled me. I'm not joking. So you talking about crying at 12, like, the same thing happened to me. And that motivated me for, like, a decade.
Yeah. I run on
So I
spike.
say it's such a fucked up sport. Striking out as a kid, you're like 9 years old. It's just like, oh, you struck out. And then, like, Billy hits a home run. Fucking Donnie hits a home run. Like, here comes Mikey and strikeout. Like, oh, my God. Whereas basketball, like, yeah, whatever. We all suck. Football, you win, lose together. Baseball's a sad sport for kids to play.
Yeah, it's the one where the scope's on you the most
Yeah.
if you suck.
Yeah.
Pop fly to you in the outfield. Little Chris Bader out in the outfield. He's been picking dandelions, doing cartwheels. They hit a little easy pop up to him.
Left field.
Doesn't even get close.
Is that why you like bombing in comedy so much?
I think you just like what you get used to.
We are going to do the last question.
That is such a joke.
Last question.
Well, I was trying to relate it to Chris.
No, of
and
course.
I was waiting for a moment to turn positive. It never did.
Hey,
never did.
I've been waiting for it to turn positive for 28 years.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a long time for that.
Last question.
the positive turn.
Fattest thing you've done on Christmas. It relates to food, if you have.
I don't have a fattest thing I've done on Christmas.
Okay.
I'm really good at not crossing over that threshold of overeating. And I've always been that way.
Must be nice.
I
Kyle?
have always been that way.
Well, Mike doesn't. Kyle?
One time my grandma made this dessert that I really liked, and I ate so much of the dessert. I was probably like 14 or something like that, but I was like just growing so much. Like, so I was hungry all the time, and I ate, I don't know, just like a mixing bowl full of it, and I ate so much that I threw up outside. Like in between gifts giving, I was just barfing outside of this Christmas dessert. No alcohol involved, just growing, ready to hit some, well, it probably wasn't even that good either. But I loved it.
It started happening to me like the last 5 or 6 years, actually. They pack up, all the leftovers, and now I say no. Because what happens is I've had some wine, I have all the leftovers, I get back home around 9 o'clock. Day after Christmas is the next day. I'm not going shopping or returning anything, and I just keep warming stuff up. And I'm watching TV till 3 in the morning, and I'm like, this is a bad idea, and I'm sick the next day.
Another slice of Virginia baked honey glazed ham that's
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Why
honey
not?
glazed ham, beef tenderloin, my sister's lasagna, reheat.
It's so weird you're not a weed guy.
No, I get
You're
too
so
paranoid.
close. You're so close. Like you do everything.
I think that would
but do
destroy
it.
me. I would like.
I don't. I think you'd probably feel at home.
Well, we could try it on the next episode.
Okay.
I have one thing. I wrote
Sorry,
this
go
down.
ahead.
I have to tell us. Going to your girlfriend's house on Christmas for the first time sucks.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
And you're like dating a girl, and she's like, "You come by."
Especially if you
doing?
haven't been with a family
Before.
before.
So-
like the
The
you should never
meeting
be a
every
big
single
holiday
person.
for the first meet. It should be like broken up. Like, come meet my aunt and my cousins. Let's grab a lunch. They're in Oak Brook Mall or wherever. Like, let's little by little. So you're not just there.
Yeah.
You always find one though that you like. This is gonna be the guy. I just stand next to him and
Yeah, one cousin,
like a cool
one
cousin.
cousin or an
Cool
uncle
cousin.
or something. Yeah.
cool cousin, like a brother-in-law or something. But I bring this up because my name's Mike, and I went to a girlfriend's Christmas, say 12 years ago, and I showed up. I went to my family's Christmas, then went to her family's Christmas. So I get there
Back-to-back
like
Christmases.
8:30
Yeah.
p.m. 8:30 p.m. So the party's been going on. So you show up like, Mike's coming. You're gonna meet Mike. I go in and then meet the cousins and the uncles, and one of the cousins, this girl, an older, attractive 30-something-year-old woman, she was like blacked out and was so mean to me and was like, "Okay, Frank." And I was like, "Whoa, why does she keep calling me Frank?" And my girlfriend at the time was like, my ex-boyfriend's name was Frank. And I was like, "Why is she calling me Frank so like belligerently?" And this is going on for like a half hour. They'd like take the cousin aside and be like, "You have to stop calling him Frank. You have to calm him down." She had just gotten out of a relationship with a guy named Mike, and Mike was like her trigger word. So when she got drunk and she met she was like, "Oh,
no.
a Mike? You're bringing a fucking Mike around?"
Like bringing a newspaper around an abused dog.
That's the word. That was the word. Like they didn't like me. Anyways,
All right.
Fucking Mike.
Mike, fucking Mike. I'm not gonna hear you, Mike. I'm gonna call him Frank. We're not bringing another Mike around this family.
This has been an awesome Chris and Kyle Explore the Universe podcast, holiday edition with our very dear friend, Mike Sterk, CPA, almost a JD, baseball savant.
Oh, huge.
Baseball savant. University of Illinois, baseball player, pitcher, and just a fucking awesome guy. And Kyle Scanlon, my baby girl, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Tell your parents you love them. We love you. Like, subscribe, and thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I don't think they'll do any of those things. I like how we clap now. We clap now.
They just landed this airplane.